Tennessee Congressman Mark Green joins me. He's the chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee. He's also a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee and a decorated combat veteran. Thank you very much for joining me, sir. And tonight, do you have any information whether it's true or not that the U.S. has halted some of the ammunition we were sending to Israel?
It remains a rumor that's been circulating around, but nothing official has been communicated to us about any halt. There's no way that'd be acceptable to the American people, especially after Congress just voted billions in aid to Israel.
Is that something you would expect? I mean, I guess the president, commander-in-chief, can do things unilaterally when it has to do with troops, but something so sensitive as that, at a time like now, would you expect him to go to one of your two committees or some committee on Capitol Hill for a heads up that they're holding the ammunition? This administration has been very poor at notifying us about things like that. I doubt very seriously. They may talk to the Intel Committee. They may talk to, the chairman of Armed Services and Foreign Affairs. But my expectations on them notifying us on a change of decision on anything is very low. I think I'm not the only one. I find it unusual, to say politely, that Hamas basically says it accepts this proposal, this Egypt Qatari proposal. But the problem is that their opponents are not Egypt and Qatar. The Qataris, they have not killed those people. It's Israel, and yet they put out this statement or release that. Why?
Look, Hamas is they're murderous terrorists, and negotiating with them in the first place has to be extremely careful. I mean, and they're going to say their propaganda war has been phenomenal. I mean, they use civilians as shields. They set up their, base of operations. They hide their warriors inside hospitals. So expecting them to have some kind of a negotiation that has any value to it is pretty limited. Now, that's not to say that negotiation shouldn't happen, but them agreeing to something that Qatar and Egypt has put together, I mean, I would expect just that. It's all part of the propaganda war that they're fighting against Israel. To spend leftists on our college campuses against Israel.
Well, you look at Hania, who's the leader in Qatar. He lives well, he is a billionaire. And as I say, he didn't invent the iPhone to get those billions of dollars he's rumored to have. And it's actually in his interest as he makes the Palestinians sort of sitting ducks where they're hungry and they're hurt and they're killed, because it makes the world turn against Israel. And people have forgotten, what happened on October 7th when there were 1,200 Israelis slaughtered.
Yeah, and if you put that in terms of per capita, I mean, that means 50,000 Americans. If we were to make it a fair comparison, what happened to the Jewish state on that day from Hamas, they broke the ceasefire that was put in place in 2014. It's just unfathomable. And Netanyahu and the leadership of Israel have every right to kill every Hamas terrorist that there is and not stop until every single one of them is dead. And they're doing an amazing job to prevent civilian casualties, building safe zones for people to go to, warning people before they strike. I mean, we didn't do that in the Afghan war. So it's insane to make a moral equivalent between Hamas and Israel.
Well, when I was in Israel for NEWSMAX and sat down with Netanyahu in November, he said he wasn't going to stop until he got Hamas. So I guess we'll see that beginning of that in Rafah tonight. Chairman Mark Green, thank you, sir.
Thanks, Greta.